Welcome to another episode of That Arrow Show. We're going to get into the good, we're going to get into the bad, and we're going to get into the Laurel. Alright y'all, this week's episode, DC Invasion crossover bullshit week. Whatever. By the way, this is also the 100th episode of Arrow. Yes, people, after 5 seasons, we've reached 100 episodes. Yeah, let's give them a little round of applause. But let's get into it. Alright, we're gonna start off with the good. So, who has some good for this crossover? Diggle?
Diggle was good.
Diggle was great.
Honestly, he was a better Green Arrow than Oliver.
When Oliver broke into the cave, the Arrow cave, and Diggle pretty much threw him around.
He went straight daddy mode, like, what you doing in here, boy? Damn,
I mean, when Oliver's a Green Arrow, everyone just waltzes into the cave, and he's really lackadaisical about it.
Diggle shows you the door. I don't know if they
the door to your soul.
I got a good. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Felicity in that thick ass blue dress.
Oh God.
I've never seen her so thick before.
Oh.
I guess they knew this was the 100 episode, so they had to go all out.
Thicker than a Snickers bar. My thing was, she looked satisfied with Ray, so I knew this was a dream. Because Ray Palmer couldn't get a fish wet underwater.
Exactly. Like, you could, I don't know. You know how like dogs, when they eat peanut butter? That was the level of thick.
You have seen this thickness before. It's just been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while. Because she either been in a wheelchair, or she been babysitting this season, or they keep throwing Wild Dog in her face. But yeah, you're right. Got into it and we just didn't catch it, because I know we do a lot of discussions during the show. But I would have liked to have. I liked this alternate universe in some way, specifically the Diggle part. I would have really liked to have seen like how did Diggle and Felicity get together and say, let's be this 2-man crime stopping duo. But we don't have time for that, Jonathan. We got to flash back to see what Heatwave is doing.
I was surprised there wasn't a flashback in the fucking
I guess there must be another good. There were no flashbacks.
Another thing, when they get caught up in that pie, and if I learned anything from Rednecks is aliens like to probe people, and they were wearing new clothes, so I'm pretty sure some butt stuff went down.
Oh yeah, someone got touched inappropriately. Yeah. Since we talking about the ladies, let's give it up for Cyberwoman, because I had to turn. I was like, who was that? I turned to that and I'm asking who she. And
all I know is I saw her getting worked in the previews, so I decided not to get too attached to her.
Yeah, but it was still nice to look at it for a short while. That is a real obscure DC character that they threw in there.
I mean, she came out of nowhere. Like, why wasn't she a villain this entire time?
Exactly.
I'll go ahead and say this. My good, I would say I like that Thea and Oliver kind of had emotional closure to their family. We didn't really see them get that much closure after Moira died. And you know, I guess it was actually good to see them talk this one out. Yeah,
because you know, like, and this is ironic to say, but within the 4 or 5 seasons that this show's been going on, like, things moved really fast with them, and they never really, you know, I guess for them, this was their way of
hugging it out.
Yeah,
and squaring that circle.
And, you know, just come to some conclusions with certain things. They didn't get the conclusions to everything that they wanted, because, you know, as we saw when they was about to lead through the portal, there were people in those images that they did not even bother to show. Nice to see Lance back on his feet.
I like Drunk Lance. Drunk Lance had character.
Yeah, he did, but I mean,
I started feeling bad for Drunk Lance.
Yeah, like it's just like some of the
Drunk Lance was delirious. He thought he was an actual super villain. I like Drunk Lance.
I mean, you gotta sometimes you gotta pull it back a little bit to make us miss Drunk Lance. You know what I want to see? I want Lance to see Supergirl and say, I gotta stop drinking. All right. We've had enough fun with the good. Let's get into the bad. Now, usually I don't do this, but I gotta go first. Can we just start off up top with the bad? This as a crossover episode was bad. This whole thing is not a crossover. This was an episode of Arrow.
The aliens didn't even show up to the last 5 minutes.
Exactly. I forgot we were fighting aliens.
I'm just gonna say this now. If you're going to do a crossover, you should. Maybe the correct way to do it is don't plan your big 4-night crossover when one of your shows is going on hiatus for the winter and one of your shows is celebrating their 100th episode.
Speaking of crossover stuff, honestly, Supergirl and Flash were unnecessary because Ragman could have handled the cyborg chick by himself.
And let's get into that, by the way, because this was another major bad for me. So they set up this weak go nowhere story. Can you even call it a B or C? A F plot where all of a sudden Wild Dog doesn't like metahumans,
Which
you work with one
and
regularly.
Yeah.
And then that all changes 10 seconds later.
Like seriously,
They didn't even give that time to marinate.
You work with a mother, like you not.
Which brings me to the next point. Curtis trained.
I gotta. Oh,
Do it.
There's no point.
Please, for the love of God, lift a weight, do a sit-up, do something. Because while this metahuman hating motherfucker over here on the damn salmon ladder, at least trying to get his weight up, you sitting over here chastising him about it.
He ain't getting worked every episode by no name scrubs.
My God. Seriously, dude.
Mad Dog took 1 L and he was like, that's enough. You stay taking them.
Exactly. And you think the shit cute.
Nobody noticed that Artemis has been missing.
Exactly. They didn't even mention her name.
Hold on. So Prometheus and Vigilante just took the day off?
Wait, the fact that they didn't mention her name says two things.
Did you see Vigilante played his part in the crossover yesterday?
That should have been the trigger, like, everybody gone, this city is ours.
Exactly. But on top of that, like, getting back to the Artemis thing, so Artemis is missing, which says 2 things to me. 1, y'all don't give a fuck about Artemis. 2, she is so useless, you didn't even know that she was gone. Even Felicity didn't walk in the room and say, where's Artemis?
With her thick ass. Hold up, let's jump into another.
By the way, adding Cisco to the fuck around gang don't make them less of a fuck around gang. They just still the fuck around gang, guest starring Cisco.
Exactly. We all know Cisco leaves at the end of that episode.
So, Ray Palmer, what are you useful for?
Jack and shit, and not even in that order.
Like literally, when you guys were escaping, you were the most qualified person to help them pilot that ship, and you didn't do shit.
He didn't want to leave that dream because he was getting his dick wet.
How are you a legend?
He's a legend, a legendary failure.
So apparently, you guys came to the conclusion that the Dominators snatched you guys up because you couldn't quote unquote fight back, aka you're not metahumans. I mean, don't fuck us around. Just say you needed all the Arrow-centric people up there so that you could do this Arrow 100 episode bullshit.
It's time to get into the Laurels. So, first off, the first Laurel has to be that Laurel up here.
Oh my God. What was this over dramatized? I can't live without you. Let me feel your testicles. The whole time I was like,
my Laurel, for Laurel, the Birds of Prey necklace.
that
Oh,
was.
that's what that was.
Why? Why?
Exactly.
It has no relevance to the show.
I thought it was a Power Ranger coin.
It could have been that too.
Like,
It would've
well,
been better if it was.
wait. I mean, we could have been watching a better show, but I've never been so flaccid in my life than watching her on the screen.
Wasn't she still wearing her wedding dress at the end though?
Yeah.
Which made it kind of funny because he was like, you just left your mark ass.
Bye. My other Laurel is when Oliver was going in the portal to go home, and they showed the images of all those dead people. That still as image of Tommy that they photoshopped in at the last second.
What the fuck happened? Like, Tommy wasn't on the show.
Exactly.
That made no
Did you
sense.
see the one?
Mark Guggenheim, did he fuck your wife? What's
He
going
had to
on?
do something because he was completely absent.
Exactly.
Like, your best boy ain't
Did you
in
see the
here?
one of Roy? He was frail as fuck.
Alright, y'all. So that is another episode of That Arrow Show. And as far as we're concerned, the crossover ended with this episode.
Done.
So, join us next week with the mid-season finale. Hopefully fucking Gotham doesn't cross over into that.
I would also like to say something as well. There will be a special Arrow-related video coming out next week as well, so be on the lookout for that.
Alright, that sounds like a surprise for the fans.
Yep.
Alright, everybody.
I'll also say, go ahead and check out I Got the Runs. Coincides a little bit with this crossover event, so check out both shows.
Anyone else got any messages they want to throw out there?
Don't do this shit again.
And if you're missing a review of Legends, we ain't doing it.
Check out our content and be back next week. Peace.